we have to deal with the agony of jargon here. Because different teachers use different languaging for identical phenomena. And different teachers use identical words for entirely different phenomena. And there's just no way around that. It just is, because everybody sort of develops their own whatever. So it is hugely confusing to people. And I really feel sorry for anyone that hasn't done 30 or 40 years of practice, because it takes 30 or 40 years to see when two people are using the same words for something completely different, and when they're using very different words for something completely the same. It just takes a long time, typically, to develop that kind of sense, that clarity. Now, I don't think this situation is going to go on for many more decades, certainly not for more than a century or two, because we're now dialoguing. The teachers dialogue. They didn't in the old days. Everybody had their own feudal domain, and they were just like lords of a castle. And they didn't do open peer-to-peer dialoguing in public. Or if anything happened in public, it was just a debate where they were trying to trounce the other guy. And even the Buddha, look at the Buddhist literature. It's just the Buddha defeating one person after another with his paradigm. That's what it is. That's what the Pali canon is about. It's not him talking to other people peer-to-peer, okay? So, but now things are different. Now there's a different spirit, the spirit of science, the spirit of collegial cooperation. And that will probably gain momentum in the next 100 years or so. Probably we won't have this agony of jargon and seemingly conflicting maps and claims and so forth. But right now, you're at the awkward intermediate period of history. So let me just try to make it as simple as possible. If Daniel or Kenneth says AP, read that as both gone of Shinzen. End of story. Okay? We just, for whatever reasons, have this different languaging of things. So that may help clarify a little bit. That deep experience of space spreading and collapsing, as soon as it's arising, okay, that's your AP experiences. And one way that means arising, passing in the jargon of some teachers. It corresponds to Udaya Vyaya in Pali. And it is mentioned, definitely mentioned in the Pali canon. And probably in a sense pretty similar to what those contemporary teachers use it. One way to measure, there's lots of ways to measure progress. See, now in early Buddhism, they measured progress in terms of working through craving, aversion, and unconsciousness. That's the different, stream enter, once returner, non-returner, arhat, and so forth. That's one metric. There's a alternate metric called the 10 ox herding pictures. That gives you a picture of about 50 years of practice from the first picture to the seventh picture. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, right. It's hard to see that those two maps correspond to exactly the same thing. They don't seem to have anything in common. Another way to measure progress is for how long, through what kind of intensity, can you have an experience of both gone or rising, passing? That's another way to measure progress. So I don't know if that's of any help.